For the 4 studies I did, 4 sketches, they're not, you know, they're not hugely precise, but they're good enough to actually see what's going on. And for each of them is different, and each of them is interesting in their own way. But the one I was decided that last week that I would like to draw up larger is this one here, this one at the bottom. And obviously it would be very hard. Oh, well, it wouldn't be, I don't think terribly interesting to see all of the shape. I think what's nice about this is that I can just see part of these shapes, and it creates something that makes your mind want to explore what's going on. It's not totally predictable, you know. You don't look at it and think, oh, that's a so-and-so, or that's a so-and-so. You know, you have to, if you look, you think, well, what can that little bit there be, that half crescent be? Well, it looks like it's an upside down ladle, and that's what it actually is. But what I'm saying is having part of the object and making it much bigger creates something that's different and will make somebody looking at your drawing more interested, I feel. You know, I think I like this one as well. I think this is also quite a nice little study. Most of this is the cast shadows. So it's a drawing about the cast shadows rather than the actual shapes. And again, I think that, you know, I often sit and look at my plants in the house when the sunlight's out, and they create the most amazing cast shadows on the wall. And that's what actually interests me visually as an artist. I like to find sort of things that are sort of transient and yet magical at the same time. And that's what I really want to capture. So I think if you have got a study that you're happy with, then you can make a start on drawing that study up bigger so it fits into an A4 piece of paper. Now, I've started mine and already realized that I have drawn the thing incorrectly. So I'm going to rub out what I've done and have another go. But at the bigger size, you'll get something that's, I think, could be very exciting. So, but I think you need to start off, first of all, with a small compositional study that you feel happy with, that has got a variety of shapes in it, a variety of lights and darks of tone, isn't all just one tone. So, you know, you make some parts of it very, very dark and some parts of it halfway between dark. So this one actually comes almost halfway down here. God. Now, I don't know whether you can see, but already what I'm realizing is that the shapes, when you transfer them from the little thumbnail study to the bigger sheet of paper, and I'm using, you know, the edge of this little thumbnail study here. This is the corners of it. This represents the corners I've got of my piece of paper here. And already I'm realizing that the shapes come up enormous, obviously, in the bigger piece of paper, because you're blowing it up however many times so that those shapes fit into that rectangle. So it's going to give you lots of scope to do some very exciting shading and modeling of the forms once you've got the actual shapes drawn in, the silhouette. At the moment, I'm just drawing in the silhouette shape to get the proportions right. I'm still not convinced that I've got this caddy quite right, but another thing you can do is to get a ruler, and you can measure your little small rectangle. Mine is 9.5 centimeters, 9.5. So half of 9.5 is what, Sue? 4.75?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, 4.75. So the only reason I'm asking her that is because the middle of my little piece of paper is where I'm doing this big black heavy mark. So it's quite useful to know where that middle is, because then I know that if I work out what the middle of this piece of paper is, I can see roughly where that shape has to be on the piece of paper. We could have gridded this all up, but I don't want us to do that. I'd like us to just do it by eye and, you know, just keep checking what you've done. Does it represent exactly what you've got in your little thumbnail study? So I will check this and see what size I've got here. It's 37, so that's 18.5. So the middle of my page is there. So in other words, my little caddy thing could go over a little tiny bit, I think. It's possibly coming over too far.